to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I consider a motion for the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. I would consider a motion for the minutes of the December 30th regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Any citizen wishing to make statements during the discussion of any item must first be recognized by the commission chair. After being recognized, that person should state their name and the name of any organization represented. Statements should be limited to 5 minutes. Please silence all phones and electronic devices. Recording the meeting is allowed, and the commission requests that anyone using special recording equipment be seated in the back row to avoid creating a distraction during the meeting. There is no old business, so we jump right into new business with the county clerk's office, and Bev Schmeidler will present the request for approval of added, abated, escaped, and refunded taxes.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
This is batch 2 presented to us by the appraiser's office. It's for 40 records, total taxes of $120,040.16. And I think a lot of them were things they were catching up on after we were shut down to create the tax roll. So oil, personal property, real estate, and trucks. Just ask for approval.
Okay, Madam Chair, you ready for a
Yes,
motion?
I am.
Okay. Move to approve the listing of added, abated, escaped, and refunded taxes as reviewed by the county appraiser and presented by the county clerk's office. Direct the chairman to sign on behalf of the commission.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Oh, now we move on to item B, Beaver Township Board appointments, and we have Schmeidler to present again.
Yes, Jennifer Steiner was the Beaver Township trustee. She moved out of the township recently, so she has resigned, and they have found Brian Miller to replace her. So just ask for approval of her resignation and appointment of Brian Miller as the trustee.
Madam Chair, are you ready for a motion?
Yeah.
I'd like to move to accept the resignation of Jennifer Steiner as the Beaver Township trustee effective December 31st, 2025. Further move to approve the appointment of Brian Miller as the Beaver Township trustee effective January the 1st, 2026, with the position terming January 8th, 2029.
Great. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have item C, and we have Mr. Jim Jordan, the county treasurer, to present details on the designation of official depositories for county funds.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
It's time of the year to talk about designating our depositories. So I'm asking that you approve the list in front of you, and they are as follows: BMO, Bank of the Plains, Central National Bank, Equity Bank, Farmers Bank and Trust, First Kansas Bank, Landmark National Bank, People's Bank, Wilson State Bank, Municipal Investment Fund, Pool. Any questions?
Just for the public, because we've talked about this a lot, and I appreciate our treasurer, Mr. Jordan, coming before us, but and we all, I mean, we couldn't do without him. He makes so many good investments and things, and being a longtime county appraiser, I didn't know that you could move monies around. Could you just explain to the public the benefit of this? Is it more just to share with the banks, or what would you, how would you sum that up for the public?
So in the banking business, they have wants and needs, and we, the county, have money. So we mirror the two together. Who can give us the best deal is where we're going to go. Basically, is what we do, is what I do. You know, who's got the best deal for our investments for percentage wise, and that's how we. I don't really go out for bid, so to speak. I mainly stay with the same banks unless somebody contacts me and says, hey, you know, we have a great deal going this month, or whatever the case may be, and then we'll shift direction. So
Explaining that, because I know if I didn't understand it, I don't know if other people didn't either. And I think we're really blessed to have as many banks as we have. A lot of people complain we have too many banks, but at least it's competitive market. If we were in a small county and we didn't have that, we had one or two banks, that
It'd
takes that away, doesn't it?
be difficult. Yeah, I try to get the best bang for our buck for the county's money and the people's, well, it's people's money, but so.
Thank you for doing that.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Hey, Jim, I don't know if you were prepared to talk about this right now. but-
I was hoping you wouldn't ask me.
What? Sorry. Could you tell us a little bit about what you think the impact of House Bill 2152 will be?
Because I'm an opinionated guy, I'll give you my opinion of that. That is great for the banking business and horrible for the county. The whole purpose of that bill in place is so that the county keeps their money locally so that they can loan it out. The problem is that bill was in place because the state, imagine that, was taking the money that's invested there and investing it outside of the state. So the banking lobbyists decided, hey, we need to curtail that so that we can keep the money in our state. It now makes the pledging, where the bank used to pledge for us personally for our amount, it now takes it and they can pledge for all of the entities and report to the state treasurer, who then reports back to us. It will help the banking business because it will, and I'm not going to speak for them, but I'm assuming their margins will be a lot higher. I'm hoping that they'll pass the savings or the money there onto some of the entities for the interest rates and so forth. But as a human being, if we can make more money and put it in our pocket, yeah, we're going to keep it. So I don't know what's going to happen, but it is not good for the counties.
It's a concern for sure.
Yeah, especially, like you said earlier, budgeting purposes. It's going to be tough now because it is going to be basically, and I'm not saying the banks in Barton County will do this, but I'm assuming there will be some, the bigger ones probably, but they're going to tell you, here's our rate, take it or leave it. We don't have much choice anymore. So it's taken the negotiating out of our hands and gives it now back to the banks.
Unintended consequence of the bill. So take votes off the roll.
Right.
So.
I mean, it's all good for the banking industry, great for those guys, but for us, it's horrible.
Domino effect. We'll see.
Correct. Yeah, it's just,
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So a lot of that unanticipated revenue that or what did we do with it last week? We didn't transfer it. We amended, right, sorry. But a lot of that unanticipated revenue we ended up with was due to interest.
Yeah, large portion.
A large portion of it, like 1.2 million of that was sale of tax credits, which essentially we had already used to renovate this courthouse and then replenished our reserves with it, right?
Correct.
Okay, and then a lot of the remainder of that was Mr. Jordan working with these different banks to get the best interest rate possible. And of course, you can't budget for higher interest rates or lower interest rates. You try to do the best you can and hope for the best. But so a lot of that unanticipated revenue came from exactly what we're talking about right now. And when that happens, one thing the public, I hope, understands is when we have unanticipated revenue, that's a good thing for the county. That's a good thing for the taxpayers, not a bad thing. That allows us to do what we've been doing, including lowering our property tax collections by $280,000 since 2021. And that's every year. We lowered it $280,000 every year, thanks to this type of interest. So I hope it doesn't go away. I mean, I hope it's not.
well, the feds, the thing I look at, the feds lowering interest rates, which in turn the banks lower their interest rates, and it's going to be tough. This coming year will be tough. It depends on what the Fed does, but I suspect he'll lower the interest rates again.
We're gonna have a new Fed chair this month.
I hope not, but I'm assuming we will.
And then if we do, it's more likely that interest rates will be cut quicker.
Correct. Yep, he won't, yeah.
So
Appreciate your comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
And those are my personal feelings too, by the way. I don't want to be speaking for
have any comments or would you like to make a motion?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I would move to approve the following depositories for 2026. That's BMO, Bank of the Plains, Central National Bank, Equity Bank, Farmers Bank and Trust, First Kansas Bank, Landmark National Bank, People's Bank and Trust, Wilson State Bank, and Municipal Investment Pool.
That motion.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, then we move on to item D, contractor agreement for media consultant, and we have, sorry, Mr. Matt Foxmer, County Administrator, to provide details.
Morning, Commissioners. In 2025, Barton County sought proposals from qualified consultants to provide, or private individuals to provide professional media consultant services. The original request for qualifications stated that the successful vendor would assist Barton County in improving its media outreach, civic engagement, and visibility of county services, policies, and public engagement opportunities. Work would involve communication with various internal and external audiences encompassing areas such as public relations, media relations, and communication needs to build and maintain a positive reputation. Barton County remains committed to increasing transparency and communication with citizens, local businesses, and other government agencies. And the consultant plays a critical role in ensuring the county's initiatives are effectively communicated. Work was to center on media services, public information campaigns, press releases, graphic design, videographer and photography, as well as social media consultation. So today we ask you to consider the approval of the media consultant agreement with Ellie Hutchinson for the period ending December 31st, 2026. The contractor to be paid $720 per week for up to 20 hours of work per week. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Chair, and maybe I should wait till after we make the motion, but it's more of an observation for Dale and Ellie. I wanted to thank you both for bearing with us as we went through this, not really knowing what we exactly wanted and the outcome. And I think we're getting there for myself, and I know the other commissioners probably will agree, it's transparency is what we're after. And I'm hoping that when we get the word out there, that it will help individuals understand what's going on a little bit better, and still don't know exactly probably all the ins and outs and the best ways to go, but appreciate you guys bearing with us as we learn through this.
I think Commissioner Esfeld was right in that we didn't know what we wanted. So we went out and then we had two, and we were kind of trying to meld it into something. And then we weren't sure what kind of local paper representation we would have. And now we have great print representation. So this allows us to maybe shift a little bit and go towards a little more of a media consultant, where she can be online a little bit more. And it is all about transparency. I think we've seen that a lot with people maybe not always understanding exactly what we did. And I think the more information we can get out there, then people can have a better understanding of it.
I remember thinking about when we did the courthouse remodel, and Barb and your friend Chad, making sure that it was documented well, and I think that that was such a big endeavor. And this building has always been so important, to the community and the history of it. And so having that piece, I think, has spurred on this idea that we need to document and be able to explain what we're doing. So that was a real learning curve for me in that process.
Madam Chair, yeah, I agree with the rest of the commissioners. I think, we're still on the learning curve, I guess. And I think we decided that really social media is sort of the way to go right now. And we're kind of entering in a new age, and that's the decision that we decided to go for, and I think it's working out.
I agree. With that, would anyone like to make a
Madam Chair, I
motion?
just wanted, in spirit of full transparency, I would recuse myself from this vote discussion.
Madam Chair, I'll be glad to make a motion. Move to approve the media consultant agreement with Ellie Hutchinson for the period ending December 31st, 2026. Contractor to be paid $720 per week for up to 20 hours of work per week. Cost of services to be paid through the finance general account of the general fund miscellaneous contractual line 001-26-5755.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries, and Commissioner Hutchinson abstained. And then Ellie, did you want to make a comment?
Yeah. I just wanted to thank you all again for this opportunity. I have greatly enjoyed working with you guys over the past year, and I am grateful for the chance to continue throughout this new year. It has been especially rewarding to help raise awareness of the meaningful work that Barton County as a whole, its departments, and the county commission in particular, has accomplished and will continue to accomplish. Moving forward, I remain fully committed to dedicating my best efforts to increasing transparency and ensuring that this information is communicated clearly and effectively to the public throughout the next year.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you.
Much.
Okay, then moving on to item E, NACO 2026 membership, and we have Mr. Matt Potsdam to provide details.
So the National Association of Counties, or NACO, strengthens America's 3,069 counties, serving nearly 40,000 county elected officials and 3.6 million county employees. Founded in 1935, NACO unites county officials to advocate county priorities in federal policymaking, promotes exemplary county policies and practices, nurtures leadership skills, and expands knowledge networks, and optimizes county and taxpayer resources and cost savings, and enriches the public's understanding of county government. The dues for 2026 are $510. That's the same as 2025. And we just ask you to consider renewal of the 2026 NACO membership dues to be paid out of Courthouse General.
Okay,
Madam Chair, I bet there's some other commissioners here that know better than me, but isn't this the one that got us a huge settlement on something at one point? Oh, okay. Okay, thank you for reminding me of that. Then I would invite discussion as well.
I do have to say that I did utilize their website yesterday because I was writing a grant for the Child Development Center in Ellenwood, and they do have quite a few statistics, and you can drill down pretty local. So I did use their website for some statistics yesterday for my grant that I'm writing. So that's what I've utilized.
Worthwhile in that way.
And Commissioner Hutchison and Commissioner Zimmerman knows way better than I do, but they've been around, as it said, for forever almost. But it's something that we don't usually go out of the state to attend their meetings simply because they seem to do a pretty good job. I know they're always present. They come to our meetings, and I'm not an expert at it, but in trying to decide if the $510 was worth it, I think we looked at what coverage they do give us legislative and all year long. And $510 seems to be pretty reasonable for the help that they do give us. But we, at one time, were looking at where can we cut back, and I think we decided this one was probably okay.
I think that's about the same discussion we had last year also.
Yeah.
And, if nothing else, maybe we're just supporting their movement or what they plan to do. I know it is a national, but probably $510 isn't out of line. Unless there's more discussion, I would like to make a motion.
Okay.
Move to approve the 2026 NACO membership dues of $510.00. Payment to be made from the courthouse general account of the general fund, dues membership subscription line 001-18-5455.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, then we have item F, Kansas Association of Counties 2026 membership, and we have Mr. Matt Potsdam to provide details.
So the Kansas Association of Counties has submitted a renewal notice for the 2026 membership based on a calculation that includes a fee-based population evaluation. The dues for 2026 are $6,577.84. The association sponsors the annual KAC conference, various educational meetings throughout the year, and lobbies the state and federal legislature on behalf of Kansas counties. The dues are up a little over $15 from last year. Just ask that you consider renewal of the KAC membership.
Okay. Some discussion on that?
I'm sure I know a little more about this one. This one's our main lifeline to the state of Kansas. So I would highly advocate that we continue this one.
I'd have to agree with that. I think if we approve anything, this would be the one that we would. So
Everyone's in agreement. Would someone like to make a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd move to approve the 2026 KAC membership dues of $6,577.84. Payment to be made from the courthouse general account of the general fund, dues membership subscriptions line 001185455.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'd second that motion.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Move on to item G, Kansas Legislative Policy Group 2026 membership, and Mr. Matt Potzer will provide details on that as well.
KLPG is a bipartisan coalition of Western Kansas counties with a common interest in the preservation of the county's tax base and retention of local control. The dues for 2026 are $6,273.67. This is up rather significantly from last year. It's increased $1,368.70. So today we just asked you to consider approval of the renewal of the KLPG membership.
Yes.
Matt, did they indicate what the increase was about? Did we have some counties that backed out of this group or? You know,
They didn't really provide any explanation, just provided the invoice.
I do serve on this one, and one of the reasons for the increase is that we haven't given the attorneys that work on this, and this is the one that Commissioner Hutchinson was referring to that gave us a large amount of money. The attorneys that are working on it have been working for about the last 20 years with no increase in pay. And was glad they stayed on and did a good job. But this year, at our last annual meeting, it was decided to give those two an increase in their pay. And since we didn't pick up any more counties for the year, it caused an increase in everybody's dues. So that's,
the membership, roughly 35 counties or something like that.
yes, that is,
What I like about this group is that, you know, it does represent the western portion of the state that I think it's beneficial to have a stronger voice out here. And you know, like when Barton County did join the suit on the oil and gas depletion trust fund money, that was super beneficial, and we were able to put that money away in our reserves. So I, for one, would support continuing this membership.
That money pays for the dues for many years.
Yes.
yes. And at our last meeting, they brought a lot of people from the state in to talk about the upcoming legislation. And so that kind of give us a heads up way before KAC for the legislative platform. It was really beneficial, and they move it around. It was in Russell this year. So that was kind of nice for us. And something that maybe the public, maybe this is just a reminder, but any of these where we give money to other agencies outside the county, especially any significant amount, each one of us serve on those boards to make sure that that money is being used appropriately too.
Sure. I guess I'm not real familiar with this organization, but I think if we're going to support Western Kansas, I think we need to stick with it
Yep.
because we do not have a lot of support in Western Kansas. So
It's true. Madam Chair, with that, I'll be glad to make a motion on this one too. Move to approve the 2026 KLPG membership dues of $6,273.67. Payment to be made from the dues courthouse general account of the general fund membership subscription line 001-18-5455.
I'd second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item H, the League of Kansas Municipalities 2026 membership, and we have Mr. Matt Potzer. Provide details.
So the League of Kansas Municipalities is the membership association that advocates on behalf of cities, offers training and guidance to city-appointed elected officials, and has a clear purpose of strengthening Kansas communities. Since 1910, the League has been a resource for cities across Kansas and has acted as a body to share ideas, facilitate communication between members, and provide information on the best practices in city operations. The county does benefit from the contacts in this organization, particularly in advertising. That said, the county has not been a member since 2015, but we did receive the renewal notice, and that's why it's before you today. So we just asked you to consider rejoining the League of Kansas Municipalities.
Madam Chair, I think this is one that all the cities are part of, and I don't know that it really helps the county. Really, I'd be surprised any at all. I mean, that's just my opinion, but
Are you advocating for this one, Matt?
No, again, it came before us, and so we wanted to bring it before you. I think it is it is more focused on city government. Again, I mean, I think it could be valuable to have contacts, but how valuable is that? I don't know that we're going to be getting any direct guidance for us as a county. So I don't know that we have really missed being a part of it since we left in 2015.
There's no motion or second. It'll die.
Madam Chair, dues, I was in Topeka a year ago for KLPG, and they invited us to this meeting because they slipped it in between. We had a little bit of time, and we had good representation from our small cities there. I did see them, and I think the cities kind of have it covered. I'm wondering if maybe they're sending us, like everything else, they're trying to save everybody money. I'm wondering if they're asking us to join to help reduce other fees, maybe.
I agree.
But I don't really see the need to.
Agreement to pass on that one? Okay, so no motion there. Okay, so then we go to item I, Kansas Natural Resource Coalition 2026 membership, and we have Mr. Matt Foster to present details.
So the Kansas Natural Resource Coalition is an association of counties who maintain collective and participatory involvement in administrative government on behalf of its citizenry. The coalition serves as a conduit between local, state, and federal governments to promote balance, necessary, and effective administrative policymaking through the mechanism of government-to-government coordination. Their mission is to monitor, analyze, understand, communicate, and participate in those initiatives that materially affect the natural or human systems governed by individual member counties. Further, KNRC members have joined together for collective coordination on natural resource and environmental policy initiatives, as well as to respond to federal government actions. Each KNRC county has adopted by resolution a natural resource land use plan codifying its authority to expect coordination with federal government agencies either independently or part of the coalition. So the membership cost for 2026 is $5,000. This has remained unchanged since last year. So we just ask the commission to consider the renewal of the KNRC membership.
This is the one that I guess I'm pretty active with. They represent us in the Quivira water issue. They've also represented the lesser prairie chicken, and they're currently researching the monarch butterfly issues. So I think it's important that we stay ahead of the curve on these types of issues, especially when the federal government's involved. So I would recommend that we stay with this. And I do know they have 32 member organizations, I believe. Sorry, and I think they were trying, or they had information given out for 12 additional member counties at the KAC. So they're pretty excited to see an increase maybe in membership. So,
Madam Chair, is the membership of the KNRC primarily a Western Kansas? membership?
yeah, I mean, I
Kind of thought
I
it,
had the map up at the KNRC meeting, and it's pretty much west of Salina, I would say.
that's what I thought.
Madam Chair, isn't this the same organization that helped us set up the Tri-County meeting where
Yes, it also helped with the NEETSI corridor.
the Neetsy corridor, yeah, it was a 5-mile swath of land that was going to come through 3 counties, Pawnee, Barton, and Russell. That's when all of us commissioners, all commissioners from all 3 counties got together and signed a resolution or proclamation that night that was very effective. So
I think they do good work, and I think they seem to have the pulse of, or their finger on the pulse of, at the national level. So I think that helps us with, I said, like federal issues a little bit, especially, you know, listing of endangered species. It's becoming a bigger and bigger deal and things like that. So I think it's a valid organization to be a part of.
Couldn't agree more. With that, Madam Chair,
Yep.
I'd move to approve the 2026 membership to the Kansas Natural Resource Coalition. The $5,000 payment is to be made from the courthouse general account of the general fund dues membership subscriptions line 001-185455.
second that.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Cool. Now let's go to item J, executive session. Seeing no reason for that, we will go to ending business. Following the close of the agenda meeting, the commission will consider the authorization of personnel changes for classified positions, signing documentation approved during the agenda meeting, or sign any other documentation required for regular county business. Similar action may take place throughout the day. Appointments, although subject to change, the following appointments have been scheduled. 9:45 or following the close of the agenda meeting, planning session with media consultant. 10 a.m. regular business discussion with Matt Potzner, County Administrator. 10:15 bulk mailing RFP, Wendy Prosser, County Appraiser. 10:30 dirt purchase from One Oak, Jennifer Hamby, Solid Waste Director. 10:45 program update, Brooke Hallmark, CKCC Director, and 11:15 program update, Christy Cruz, Town Grants. The county edition of KVGB AM Thursdays at 11:05, Sheriff Brian Bellendier is scheduled for January 8th, 2026. So then we have discussion items. Doing the commissioners having discussion items? I just wanted to state that this will probably, I guess, be my last meeting as chairman. So I just wanted to thank you all for trusting me to be chairman. I think we did some great things this year. I know Diana's been helping working on a recap of the year, but some of the things we touched on was we went to project-based Eco Devo. We sold our tax credits. We brought on hometown grants to help with economic development. We worked on a joint FIG project with Claflin, Ellenwood, and Hoisington. We made some contributions to the Rural Water District project. We made changes to the way we overlay roads, which hopefully will save our taxpayers some dollars in the future. We initiated Travel 389, which I know everybody was a little skeptical about in the beginning. But we went to over 40 businesses and received over 120 recommendations on things taxpayers would like to see us do maybe differently or just general ideas. So I would say that was worth all of our time. It was quite lengthy some of those days, but we really put in the extra miles to hear what our constituents wanted to say. We also helped contribute to the Hoisington subdivision, and we worked with Barry before he retired on the KDOT 4-lane expansion project. So I'd say we had a jam-packed 2025.
Busy year.
Very busy year. So I just want to say thank you, and I look forward to a new chairman next week. So
We appreciate your leadership. Thank you.
And Madam Chair, you led us well, and I at first didn't know about going to other businesses. Like, wait a minute, and it's good to, I thank the other commissioners a lot for getting me outside of the box. When you've been in county government since you were 10 years old, I feel like. Anyway, you think, we can't do that, but there's so much that we can do, and I think we've proven it over the last several years, and this year was amazing. So thank you.
it's all very busy.
Yes.
I'm sure I'm going to say nice things until next week.
Okay.
Well done. Okay. It was
I
good.
think we all did a good job. It was a huge time commitment. Travel 389 took a huge amount of time from all the commissioners and Matt and Patrick. So I appreciate everybody's time and enthusiasm to that project. So absolutely.
Well done.
Okay, so citizens or organizations may present requests or proposals for initial consideration at this time. Seeing none of those, the commissioners are available to the public on Tuesdays during regular business hours. One or more commissioners may be present in the commission chambers conducting county business throughout the day on Tuesdays. The commissioners may individually schedule personal appointments related to county business at their discretion. The next regular meeting will be at 9 a.m. Monday, January 12th. 2026, and this is a change. We're meeting on Monday instead of Tuesday. So ready time Monday morning at 9. So with that, I would take a motion to adjourn.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Hi.
Okay, we are adjourned. I feel like I should use.
There-
There we go.
Bang the meeting in next week.
Oh,